Very good morning to you, Stuart. Well, good morning from our part of the world. This drone technology is just, it really has blown my brain. It's just so clever. Tell us how it works.
Well, it's very exciting. What we need to do is more quickly get more trees back into the ground, whether it's for trees that koalas live in or for all the other animals that use trees here in Australia and around the world. And you can perhaps plant maybe 2,000, 3,000 seedlings in a day if you've got a good team and you know what you're doing. Whereas drones can drop onto the ground somewhere between 10,000 and up to 40,000 little pods with seeds in them per day. So it has a great potential through this great innovative technology to help us restore habitat a lot quicker. So it's where conservation, climate resilience, new technology, digital learning, and the bright young things coming through our universities and technology companies who really want to change the world quickly. And we hope it works, and we're at the early stage of trialling it now.
Yeah, the positive side of AI, isn't it? So when these pods hit the ground, do they penetrate the ground just a little bit to give it some sort of chance to take root?
Well, one of the things we want to do as trial is whether we spray individual seeds, like a seed rain, if you will, a bit like a tree normally dropping seeds when it's windy. That's one of the options that some drone operators use. Others drop little pods about the size of a marble, which has some seeds in it, but also like a fertiliser, like an osmocote slow-release fertiliser, some microbes to help the roots generate in the soil, and it absorbs water when it rains. So even if it's in a bit of a drought, if there's a bit of rain, the seedling can germinate when there's water in the pod. Other drone operators drop larger sort of pucks or even called waffles of seeds in the ground. So we need to trial both different types of drones and compare all drone operations in comparison to tree planting. So we actually don't know the answer, and we have maybe half a dozen Australian and international drone operators talking to us now, wanting our support, wanting to partner with WWF, wanting to co-invest with us. And to be honest, none of us knows how it's going to go, so we're trying to defray the risk and co-invest and bring the brightest minds together to reduce risk and increase deployment very soon.
Well, it certainly is better than what we have out there at the moment, and this will work in areas also affected by deforestation. Tell us more about the impact of animals, these devastating fires that you have in Australia and other parts of the world, other than taking their lives. I mean, where does it leave them from a sort of distressed point of view?
Well, a lot of Australian animals and eucalypt trees are adapted to fire, and they're tough animals and they're tough trees, so they're used to fire, but these are not normal fires. They're stoked by climate change or global heating, and they often kill trees or animals outright. And so a lot of animals are very stressed. For example, koalas catch a virus called chlamydia, can make them blind, make the females unable to breed, makes them very nervous. And when a tree is burnt down or chopped down, koalas have to come onto the ground where they get more stressed, and that's when they're more likely to catch chlamydia or be attacked by a dog or hit by a car. And hundreds of species of Australian wildlife live in our trees. And so when there are no trees, or there might be a tree might survive a fire, but there's hardly any leaves left, or the big trees with the hollows in them where the possums and other animals live in them, when that falls down, there might be trees alive, but no homes. So animals can get very stressed, and particularly if it's followed quickly by more drought or a massive rainstorm, that's when a lot of animals killed. It's often after the fires when there's no food, no water, and they're more likely to be eaten, for example, by a feral cat or feral fox.
Stuart, briefly, if you will, other than the drones, what else are you working on to improve the safety of the environment and the animals that live in it?
Yeah, well, the best thing to do is keep the trees that they live in standing. So we're seeking stronger laws to protect homes for koalas and all the other wildlife. We're trying to support farmers to make it more profitable to grow more trees on their land, whilst they also, for example, graze their stock. We're trying to create new protected areas, Indigenous protected areas, national parks. One is called the Great Koala National Park in Eastern Australia, which might protect 20% of Australia's East Coast koala populations. We're also trying to generate carbon financing and conservation financing for landowners, so when they protect or grow more forest, it makes them money, it makes more rain, it makes the aesthetics of our neighbourhoods and farms better, and it also provides more wildlife habitat. So we're working on many different levels in addition to the drone work.
Stuart, so good to speak to you. Stuart Blanche from WWF Australia.